Hey folks, this is Kalani. Welcome back to the Legion Alpha. I know I've been away for a while, but Brewmaster Monk was just enabled on the Alpha. So we're going to have a look at their abilities, or their baseline abilities, their talents, and finally how the artifact affects how we're going to play. Now if you haven't seen the artifact yet, I don't know if it's a little bugged, but you've got a few drinks, essentially, on the end of your artifact, and they do seem to be hanging the wrong way right now, so they're going to be flailing around everywhere. Apologies that they do seem to be flailing in the wrong direction. But we'll have a look at the base abilities first. Now, where would we be without Provoke? We're still a tank, we still need a Taunt. Still does pretty much the exact same thing. Tiger Palm is a little different. So, as you may have noticed already, we don't have a Chi meter, marker, anything. We don't have Chi anymore. So, that's going to take a little bit getting used to, but that does mean that everything is either cooldown or energy based. So, it's basically gonna play like a rogue, which could be fun. So we've got Tiger Palm. Attack with the palm of your hand, dealing a bit of damage, and reduces the cooldown on Iron Skin Brew and Purifying Brew by 1 second. We'll get to those later. Out seems to be your standard filler, 25 energy. Now we have Blackout Strike. Notice it's not a kick, it is a strike. Requires a two-handed melee weapon, 3-second cooldown, no energy costs. This is just going to be a basic cooldown, and you deal quite a bit of damage. Cool. Then we have Breath of Fire, 15-second cooldown, once again, no energy cost. Breathe fire on targets in front of you, causing a bit of fire damage. Targets affected by Keg Smash will also burn over 8 seconds. Then we have Keg Smash. Smash a keg of brew on the target, 15-yard range, 6-second cooldown give or take, and 40 energy. Now it does quite a bit of damage and reduces the movement speed of folk by 50%, and reduces the remaining cooldown on Iron Skin Brew and Purifying Brew by 4 seconds. Once again, we'll get to those later. Now, on to some of the good stuff. We still have Spear Hand Strike, 15-second cooldown melee interrupt. Pretty much the exact same thing as it's always been. We still have Roll. Still working the way that it has been since monks were released. We have Paralysis. Our good old crowd control. Incapacitates the target for 1 minute, limit 1. I'm assuming that's target. Damage will cancel the effect. 15-second cooldown, 20-yard range. So that's all good. We still have Crackling Jade Lightning, which doesn't cost any energy, 40-yard range, so I guess we can just channel that as long as we want, and deals quite a bit of damage actually, if these numbers are something to go by. If the strike deals about 15k, this seems to deal 42 over 3 seconds, which really isn't too bad. Then we have Transcendence and Transcendence Transfer. Transcendence on the 10-second cooldown and Transfer on the 25. Pretty much the same as what that has always been. And then we have Zen Meditation. Reduces all damage taken by 60% for 8 seconds. Being hit by a melee attack will cancel this effect. Then we've got some of our cooldowns and healing abilities. We have a Fuse, 30 energy, 1.2 second cast, fast and efficient heal, healing you for about 20k without any modifiers right now. Then we have the Brews that we were talking about. Purifying Brew cancels all the damage delayed with Stagger, so we are still using Stagger. Guess we'll take this moment to just quickly look at passives. We have Celestial Fortune. You have a chance equal to your crit strike chance to duplicate all healing that you receive, so you multi-strike healing on yourself. We still have Gift of the Ox. When you take damage, you have a chance to summon a healing sphere visible only to you. Running over it will give you a nice big heal. Mastery is Elusive Brawler. Each time you are hit by a melee attack, you gain a stacking 19% increased dodge chance until your next successful dodge. Also increases your attack power by 19%. And then we have Stagger. You shrug off attacks, delaying 35% of physical damage instead of taking it over 10 seconds. Affects magical attacks at half effectiveness. So essentially when you take damage, you're going to get a debuff which is stagger. If you use Purifying Brew, you just get rid of all of that instantly. This has 3 charges and a 16.8 second recharge rate. Iron Skin Brew increases the damage you delay with stagger by an additional 40% for 6 seconds, and it shares charges with Purifying Brew. They're both on the same charge, they both get a charge when the other gets a charge, etc, etc, so you kind of have to choose. You either take more of the hit as extended stagger, or you purify all of your stagger. So I guess that's going to be very much a in-the-moment case. If you're going to take a huge hit, maybe better to stagger that damage, because purifying your stagger isn't really going to help a great deal, so maybe you can pop one then pop the other. You'll have to kind of see and find out depending on the fights. Then we have Fortifying Brew, 5-minute cooldown, turns your skin to stone for 15 seconds, increasing your current and maximum health by 20%, increasing the damage you delay with stagger by an additional 20%, and reducing all damage you take by 20%. Whew, that's a mouthful. Turns you to stone. So that's all grand. Then we also have Detox, removes all poison and disease effects from the target. We still have Resuscitate, so we can still resurrect. And we have Zen Pilgrimage, because we wouldn't be a monk without it. And that is all of the base abilities. You will see quite a few things missing from the toolbox that you have right now in Worlds of Draenor as a Brewmaster Monk. So let's have a look at the talents to see if that fills in any of the gaps, and then we'll look at the artifact. First up we have G-Burst. Hurls a torrent of chi energy up to 40 yards forward, dealing a bit of damage to all enemies and a bit of healing to the monk and all allies in its path. That kind of went the wrong way, but that's cool. Let's see that again. Once again, Chi Burst. I don't know where that's going. I'm a little confused. Hopefully that's a bug and it's going to be fixed, but didn't really do any damage. So, I mean, maybe there's something up there that we desperately need to kill, but that was Chi Burst. Eye of the Tiger. Tiger Palm also applies Eye of the Tiger, dealing a bit of nature damage to the enemy and a bit of healing to the monk over 8 seconds. So the nice kind of eye for an eye, I guess. Heal yourself, damage your enemy. Then we have Chi Wave. A wave of Chi energy flows through friends and foes, dealing a bit of damage and a bit of healing. Bounces up to 7 times to targets within 25 yards. Hopefully this one just doesn't, piece off into the sky. There we go. Cool. Sweet. Chi Torpedo torpedoes you forward a long distance and increases your movement speed by 30% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. So this isn't really what we're used to with Chi Torpedo, but that's cool. We still have the functionality of that talent. Still have the same animation, and obviously we get the speed buff. Now that does replace Roll. Tiger's Lust increases the friendly target's movement speed by 70% for 6 seconds and removes all snares and roots. That was actually a really cool animation. Celerity reduces the cooldown of roll by 5 seconds and increases its maximum number of charges by 1. Light Brewing reduces the cooldown of Iron Skin Brew and Purifying Brew by 5 seconds and increases their maximum number of charges by 1. Black Ox Brew instantly refills your energy and your Iron Skin Brew and Purifying Brew charges on a 1-minute cooldown. Now, I do believe when Brewmaster was enabled, they did say that it seems a little too strong, and I think this was one of the points. I think that cooldown is going to be increased, because that's kind of ludicrous, but let's see what it looks like. So let's spend some energy and drink some brew. Fine, we'll drink this one repeatedly. A little boring, but kind of, it gets the point across. We can use everything again. Secret ingredients. Tiger Palm has a 30% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Keg Smash. Ring of Peace. Form a Ring of Peace around the friendly target for 8 seconds. Enemies in the ring that use harmful spell or ability will be knocked out of the ring. And that probably uses the same animation, but that's still super pretty. Summon Black Ox Statue. This is our statue. It's now a talent, sadly, but does seem to do exactly the same thing. No path available. What are we, a warrior? No path available. I guess we're kind of suffering from warrior syndrome right now. Let's see if we can do on a stairs. I guess that's probably just broken, but I assume it looks exactly the same anyway. Leg sweep is pretty much what we've got already. Does the exact same thing. Nice AoE 5-second stun. Brilliant. Healing Elixirs heals you for 15% of your maximum health when a damaging attack brings you below 35% health, or when you drink a brew while injured. Can only affect every 18 seconds, or rather it can only happen every 18 seconds. Nice little cooldown on your cooldowns. Diffuse Magic reduces magic damage you take by 60% for 6 seconds and transfers all currently active harmful magical effects on you back to their original caster if possible. Cool. Not a particularly shiny animation, but never mind. Dampen Harm reduces all damage you take by 30% for the next 3 attacks that damage you for 15% or more of your maximum health, castable while stunned. Rushing Jade Wind summons a whirlwind tornado around you, causing a bit of damage over 4.8 seconds to enemies within 8 yards. Bear in mind, we don't seem to have our good old spin kick. This spinning crane kick, I believe it is. So we do actually only have the tornado now. Invoke Nizao the Black Ox. Summons an effigy of Nizao the Black Ox for 45 seconds. Nizao attacks your primary target and taunts it. You get a mini Nizao, basically, who attacks like a madman or a mad goat. And he lasts quite a while, lasts 45 seconds. So, I mean, if he stays alive and he always taunts your target, that's a pretty powerful tank cooldown. Basically a meat shield. And has your exact health, unless that's a strange coincidence. So, that could be fun. Special Delivery. Drinking Iron Skin or Purifying Brew has a 30% chance to toss a keg high into the air that lands nearby after 3 seconds, dealing a bit of damage to enemies within 8 yards and reducing their movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. So basically, a 30% chance to toss a keg smash high into the air, really, isn't it? It's the exact same damage as keg smash as well. Fantastic. So, chance on drinking brew to throw a keg smash in the air. So let's see just how weird this can be. Hopefully it'll work. So it's Iron Skin and Purifying Brew. Let's take this one as well, just so we can reset it. So whenever we drink this, chance to throw a keg at... Oh, there it goes. Cool. That's actually really fantastic. I wonder if it goes straight to an enemy or not, because that seems to be pretty much going for the enemy. Whoa, hey, one more. That's awesome. I wonder if that's where Chi Burst was going, you know, it wants to be a keg. Elusive Dance. Purifying Brew also grants up to 15% dodge for 6 seconds based on the level of stagger damage purified. Cool. Clear a bit of stagger away, get a bit of dodge. Fortified Mind. Keg Smash and Tiger Palm now also reduce the cooldown of Fortifying Brew. So they already reduce the cooldown of these two, and then you can also reduce the cooldown of your big cooldown, the one that turns you to stone, by 4 seconds and 1 second, I would assume. So get that cooldown a little faster. And then High Tolerance. Staggered delays an additional 5% of incoming damage. Nice, just baseline passive, don't want to deal with anything brand new. They're actually all passives. That's a little disappointing. It's nice to have something at 100 to, you know, have a big power button to, you know, a power play button to press and crazy stuff happens, but never mind. That's all of the talents, so let's have a look at how the artifact is affecting how we play. Now, the first thing you get is Flaming Keg. So it's a 1.2 2 5-minute cooldown. Pretty big cooldown for only dealing 1 damage, but let's get into combat. And then let's throw our flaming keg. So it explodes, sets people on fire, and damage dealt to the caster reduced by 15% from the looks of that debuff, although it's weird that it doesn't say that on the tooltip, but never mind. Let's see what else the artifact has in store. Kegerator increases the damage dealt by keg smash by 15%. Gifted Student increases the healing granted by Gift of the Ox. Bear in mind these percentages are in ranks, so there's 3 ranks, so that's probably 3, 6, 10 or 3, 6, 9, something similar. Obstinate Determination. Hope I said that right. When you drop below 35% HP, spawn an Ox Orb. Remember, that was the random orb which can appear, which you can only see, which gives you quite a big chunk of health. Facepalm. Tiger Palm has a 15% chance to hit yourself. No, to reduce the cooldown of your brews by 1 second. Dragonfire Brew. Casting Breath of Fire surrounds you with flame for until cancelled. Okay, dealing 1 fire damage over 0 and reducing the damage dealt to the caster by up to -8%. Roger. So it seems as though you deal a bit of fire damage, take less damage, and you can do it until cancelled. I'm sure that'll get a rework before too long. Potent Kick increases the duration of Iron Skin Brew by 0.5 seconds. Adjunct Advantage increases the damage done by Breath of Fire by 5%. Obsidian Fists increases the crit strike chance of Blackout Strike by 5, 10, 15% most likely. Overflow. Each time Gift of the Ox, remember that's the random one which can generate, that only you can see, generates a healing sphere, it has a 10% chance to instead generate a greater healing sphere that heals for twice as much. Cool, just a chance to get more healing. I'm sure chasing after those orbs is actually going to be fairly important by the sounds of things. Activating Fortifying Brew, Purifying Brew or Iron Skin Brew grants you 15% dodge for 2.5 seconds. Even more dodge, what's not to like. Healthy Appetite increases maximum health by 5, 10, 15% most likely. Activating Blackout Strike reduces the damage you take from the next auto attack that strikes you. Smashed, because who wouldn't be as a Brewmaster? Increases the range of Keg Smash by 10 yards, which would put it up to 25-yard range. That's pretty cool. Very, very ranged. Just run and throw kegs at everybody. Swift as a coursing river. Activating Fortifying Brew, Purifying Brew or Iron Skin Brew increases your movement speed by 6% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Wow, 30% if you can keep that going. On a 15-second cooldown means it's just out of range for your recharge rate, meaning you're probably going to have to play relatively smart with that. But you also have your abilities to reduce the cooldown, so you could be running around pretty fast all the time, as long as you're attacking something. Staggering around, Fortifying Brew increases the damage you delay with stagger by an additional 2, 4, 6% most likely, and Fortification. Activating Fortifying Brew grants you 30% dodge for 21 seconds. That's a lot of dodge for a long time. But I do suppose it's on a 5-minute cooldown. So, that's all of Brewmaster Monk, at least what we've got to play with so far. Bear in mind this is alpha, this is the first time it's been released, so things are more than likely going to change. You might get a few abilities back, especially if you not necessarily complain, but provide decent feedback on the forums about why you missed those abilities and why they were very nice to have for a Brewmaster Monk. Maybe from, class fantasy perspective as opposed to that was really OP, please give me that back. But that's it for this video. If you want to see anything specific from the Legion Alpha, please leave that in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.